Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we will be cutting the Victorian Christmas soap that we made, and also we will be making Tis the Season Christmas soap. This is a wonderful holiday scent. It has notes of spices and apples and cider, and it just smells really, really good. So, hi, Stacy. Welcome. I better fix my chat so I can see you guys. There we go. Now it's showing up. Okay. So so the Victorian Christmas soap that we made, if you guys remember, it started to separate, and it just wasn't holding itself together like a smooth batter like it usually does. And just moving some things out of the way here. All right. So I said that I would remake it if I didn't, if it didn't turn out. Now, it did reabsorb that oil for the most part. Here's how. Well, this is in the way. Let me move this real quick. Okay, we'll open this up so that we can see what we're doing. All right, so here's how it looks. So you can see, first of all, it got the batter wasn't holding up these orange slices, so one of them kind of started to tilt over. You can see the indentation it left. And these oranges are not as firm as I would like them because they also absorbed a little bit of the oil. This doesn't hurt anything. It just isn't, visually as nice as I would have liked it to be. There is still a little bit of that, like, kind of oily. You can see it's kind of glistening on top. It's become like a thick. Um, I don't know how to describe it. There's nothing wrong, like with it. Like, it's not harmful. I did save the leftover batter from this, and I kept it in a one of the pitchers that I used to mix my soap. I just left it in there to see what it would do, and it reabsorbed most of the oil, just like this did. And when I tried washing with it, it washed beautifully. It worked great. It was just ugly. So I guess this is the Grinch soap of the year, or maybe the ugly Christmas sweater. I don't know. But I did go ahead and remake it. I did everything exactly the same as before. The only difference is I used less olive oil. And as you know, I mix the white with olive oil to kind of disperse that titanium dioxide before I mix it in my soaps. And I think I just used a little too much of that. So here is the remade version. You can see it's a lot smoother on top. The oranges look a little bit fresher because they haven't absorbed a ton of oil, and everything else is the same. Just the batter consistency came out a little bit better. So I think that's what I did wrong. I just added a little bit too much olive oil. Um, Probably if I had continued mixing, um, I would have ended up with a little bit smoother results. But really, I didn't want to have you guys watch me blend soap for 45 minutes, and that probably would not have been good for my stick blender. So what we're going to do today is, yeah, Stacy, it does look better. You're right, 100%. But I'm going to go ahead and cut both of them on the cutter. Hopefully this will be able to handle cutting both of them at the same time. Only because I'm not sure. Only because this might be really, one of these might be a little firm. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm just worried because I don't know what else is going to go wrong with the soap. But I think it's going to be just fine. It smells amazing. Both of them do. So here's that gold bottom, like we were talking about when we made that first soap. It's white on top. It's got the cute oranges. Oh, it smells so good. All right. We will put this on here, and I'll move everything back in frame so you guys can see everything before I cut this. Here's this one. The edges of this soap mold are still a little bit oily. More than likely, I'm going to just keep these soaps, these ugly ones, and use them myself because, like I said, they smell great and everything. And so you can see this one has the gold on the bottom also. All right, so let's set this here. And also another thing, you can see where the oil, there's like these, I mentioned we'd probably get glycerin rivers, but I think instead of glycerin rivers, this is just literal, like, places where this is places where the soap wouldn't hold together because there just was too much oil for the amount of lye that I put in. You always want more oil than you need to avoid getting like lye burns or having lye heavy soap. You always do that, but there's a certain point where there's just too much oil and the lye can't hold it together anymore. Yeah, it's kind of like that. The lye works. It emulsifies everything together for you. So if you have too much of something, then it just can't do it. I'm going to move these molds out of the way. I'm gonna wipe this oil off my hands. Will the oily one be more moisturizing? It's possible, but the problem is that I don't know how well it's going to hold together, like as you wash with it. If it's really craggy inside, because that's one of the things I was gonna have you guys guess about how it's going to look in here. Is it going to be all craggy or is it going to look normal? We're gonna find out. But if it is really craggy, the oil might continue to seep out. It just kind of depends. Usually, oil gets like slowly over time, it'll get reabsorbed, and that's what this one has done to some extent. But if there's too much, it's like a sponge, like it can only hold so much. And I also don't know what this is going to look like when it cures. So it might just be a drippy, oily mess, and that's kind of hard to use. I don't know if anybody would really enjoy that. I can make ultra moisturizing soap that looks normal, so I don't want to subject anyone to this. Okay, so this one is lining up with the wires really good. I'm just checking this one. This one looks fine also. Okay, let's go. We're going to find out. Yeah, this is nice and soft. It'll be fine. Okay. Ta-da! All right, so it seems to have cut totally fine. Let's do this one first because it's very unlikely there's going to be a disaster on that side. So we'll save the suspense for last. And I just got some paper here to put the soaps on. Oh, and before I forget, because I usually forget to do this at the end, if you have any kind of social media that you want to share, definitely leave that in chat so people can find your channel or your social media. I know Stacy has an Instagram where she posts pictures of like her tumblers and things that she does. And if you have, so if anybody, if you, even if you watch this video later, if you have a YouTube channel or a social media or something, and you want to promote some of the things you make, go ahead and put that info in there. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel because it really helps me out. And I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers so that we can open up the community tab. Okay, that's done. So let's go ahead and see how this first one looks. This is the remake. Okay, so this is the one that looks better. Let me move this so you guys can see the top. So here's the top, and then here's how it looks inside. Whoops. You see it looks much, much better. Everything held together nicely. No problems. It smells really, really good. So we'll go ahead and let that sit. This one was made a day after the other one because I let the other one sit for a day to see. Trying to get this in the camera. Um, but so this is a lot softer. This has a lot more um like it still needs to cure and everything, obviously. This is, so the other one's going to be a little further along but than this one by like a day. So anyway, there's that. Here's this one, and it's got this creamy white top half here and this gold and then this cute orange sticking out. And I always recommend whenever you get soap that has like a decoration on top, like dried fruits or toys or whatever, you want to make sure to take those out before you use the soap. All right, and then here's the two end pieces. Oops. So I drop them. Okay, here we go. And those are the two end pieces. And then of course I cut these up and give them away as samples. Okay, there's that. And then, all right, so here's the oil one. And oh, this is slippery, hard to hold on to. All right, here we go. Yep. So you see all the places, like, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but basically this is a big oily, like I guess a sponge is a good way to put it. Actually, it almost looks like a sponge that's just seeping the oil out. It looks okay. Um, like I mean, I think it's going to be okay. Like if I let this sit for a while and then I use it for like my own personal soap, it'll be fine. It's just oily. It's a little bit slippery to pick up, and yeah, but it's definitely soap. Like it held together. That's what surprises me. I was expecting this to be more. I don't know. I'm trying to look for an example. Like this looks like cottage cheese. I was expecting this to look a little bit more like cottage cheese than it does. So that's fine. You can see the end of the orange sticking out there from where the orange is like sitting inside there, and then that's the bottom of it. Okay, so this is an example of what kind of goes wrong. I mean, like I said, it's still soap. It's still usable. It still gets you clean, but it doesn't look pretty. So I won't put this in my shop, but trying to get a good shot of the top there. It's kind of neat, though. I will say that the oil has made this orange look like a stained glass window instead of a dried orange, but I can hold it and it just slides down my hand because of the oil. It just slides down. See, this is really slick. And so this is what happens when you put too much oil in your soap. But like I said, it's still soap. It still washes. It bubbles up. I was shocked. It lathered up really nice, and I was expecting with all this oil that it wouldn't lather, but it did. And my hands were clean. It smelled good. Didn't irritate the skin. So I mean, it works. It's so basically, if you were to make soap for yourself and this happened, don't throw it away. You could either rebatch it into a new batch of soap and have it come out normal, or more normal than this, or just, who cares? Go ahead and use it, and it'll just be oily. That's all. But don't throw it away, because even if soap comes out kind of wonky, you can at least rebatch it. Yeah, you can really see the difference. Exactly right, Stacy. All right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get this oiliness off of here. To be fair, though, I think the oil would probably help this cutter. Keeps the wires nice. Although this is probably not an advisable way of doing this. Okay. I can't recommend, but I can say that it's fine, yes, but I can't recommend it. Okay, so these ones I'm going to go ahead and put on the curing shelf real quick. That way we can get these, started to get ready to go. Move this out of the way. I think it'll fit right there with the other Christmas ones. And see, this one doesn't slide out of my hand. I can just hold it. The other ones were sliding. Took no effort. Okay. And these are nice and firm feeling. Like when you set them down, they feel like the normal soap bars, because they are, but yeah, the other ones are a little bit something else. These ones, let me see. Well, they're not leaving. I was expecting an oily footprint on the bottom, but I guess not. That's pretty good. Okay, so this is not like, it feels and looks way worse than it is, I think. Um, but I'm not going to put it on the shelf with the others in case it leaves like an oily mess behind. So let me get these samples out of the way. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so samples are on the shelf. All right, so now these bars and samples, I think I'm just going to set them kind of like off to the side somewhere, um, and just see what happens as they cure, and they can kind of become like an experiment. Actually, since this isn't seeping through, I'll go ahead and put them on the shelf. But what I'll do is I'll put them on the shelf with the paper under it, and then that way, um, it won't mess with the curing shelf. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to fold this paper over because it's kind of a big piece. So I'll fold it over like this and just start stacking them on the side. Oh, these are hard to pick up. They're hard to pick up. Okay, there we go. It's like greasy soap challenge. Anyway, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe we should have like a weird, actually we should definitely not do this, but weird soap challenge where we see how much oil is too much oil, and at what point does the soap, look like this? At what point does it fall apart completely, where it's like little granules of soap floating in oil? And how far can you go before it reaches this point? I'm pretty sure somebody already knows the answers to all this. I could probably just look it up, but might be interesting to make. I'd have to do little tiny bars so I didn't waste a ton of oil, but it would kind of, part of me is interested and thinks it would be fun. The other part of me knows it's a waste of time and would be really gross, and I'd have all this oily soap that I didn't want when I was done. So it's not happening, but I guess a fun thought experiment. Okay, I'm going to move this over towards the center of the paper so I think what I'm going to do is pick it up with the paper. I think that's what I'll do, just so I can not get it making my gloves all greasy. Okay, I'm trying not to like waste my gloves by changing them constantly when I don't need to. Okay, so let's put this on the shelf. Okay, all right, I'm gonna set this over here, and hopefully it's not gonna touch anything else. Yeah, it'll be fine here. Okay, it's got a little corner of the shelf all to itself on top of the paper. Okay, I should put away the soap cutter. And just getting a little crumbs, soap crumbs. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to put this back on the shelf. Okay. So I had a couple ideas for this soap for today. And one of them involved making some cute little like snowflake out of, snowflake toppers out of a soap dough. But when I went to get the little snowflake cutters that I thought I bought, they could not be found. And it turns out I did buy them, I think, because they're like these little punch, like fondant type punch things. And I had the snowflake cut out, but I didn't have the little punch thing that goes on top. So either not, they're all in the same. They all came shipped in this like plastic Ziploc bag, and I kept them in that Ziploc bag in a plastic bin where I keep all my like soap dough cutters and stuff. That it's all together. So either somehow I misplaced the little snowflake, the little inner stamp part, or they didn't ship it to me because everything else is in there. The flowers are there, the hearts are there, everything is there, but the snowflake cutters are just mysteriously gone, and I don't know why. I don't know where it went, and yeah, that's 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 a problem. So I can't do the snowflakes like I wanted to. Either I have to find, where they went, or I need to buy them because maybe they just, like I said, they may have just not shipped them to me at all. They only shipped me one half of the snowflake stamps. I will find out, but we'll just be doing a different top then for this soap than what I originally had planned. I wanted to show you guys how to use, like how to roll out the soap dough and how to make it and everything, but we'll just have to do that on another day, I guess. Okay, so here's the oils. We are going to do the heat transfer method again because it really does work really, really well. I'm gonna get, oh, you know what? Let me get one more pot for the other color. I'm gonna do three colors for some reason today. I'm gonna use this glass ones. Actually, I'm gonna do 2 glass ones because I'm only gonna use a little bit of color, and then we're gonna swirl it. No, we could do one plastic one. I already have the plastic one out anyway. All right, just a second. Okay, so here is the last one. And the stick blender and other things. And all right, here is the container. So what we'll do is first I'm going to blend up the oils a little bit to help them melt a little better when I pour in the hot lye water. And the lye water I will measure out in a moment. So first, here's my stick blender. Move this out of the way. What we're going to do here is just mix up some of these oils. Just kind of get them broken up a little bit. There's a lot in there. Might have to clean out the end of that. Here we go. Use my +1 fork of texture to clean this out. There we go. Too much of the oils got in there. It hasn't been overly warm, so the oils are a little firmer than usual. It's totally fine. This will get it. All right, stir this. These already look really nice and creamy, and I haven't even done anything to it yet. Okay, so far, what I'm doing is scraping the bottom and in the corners to make sure there isn't any oil stuck in there. Because the coconut oil likes to get stuck, and then I've got the palm oil in here, and that stays pretty firm. All right, there we go. All right. Let's get this cleaned on that side. Okay. All right, so this looks good enough for... It probably would have been okay even not to do this, but I don't want to be left with a big chunk of oil after the lye gets mixed in. Just because I don't want to be stuck trying to stick blend that out while it's getting while it's accelerating, while it's saponifying, I guess. All right. I was cleaning off the fork so we could, if we decide to use it for texture later, we have it. Okay, so now we got to measure out the lye. Let me go put my face shield on just a moment. And since you're going to be seeing me measure out lye and stuff, I want to let you know, always wear gloves, always wear a face shield, always wear shoes, because if this spills on your feet, you don't want this. When it's in, oh, and here's the water with the sea salt already mixed into it. When it's mixed water, when you mix the lye with water, it becomes very, it's a very caustic substance. It could burn you. It's very unpleasant. Once you mix it with the oils, it's much less of a problem because it starts to bind with the oils and do its thing, and then it's just not as bad. And then once it turns into soap, you're fine. But it's gone. The lye and the oils and water combine to make soap, and then it's a totally new thing, and the lye isn't in there anymore, assuming you have enough oil. But when it's just mixed with the water, that's when it's dangerous. So you want to be careful. And lye usually comes in this like powdered form, like little granules, like salt. It looks like salt or sugar. And just carefully weighing this out. You always want to go by weight and not by volume. So you don't want to measure, teaspoons or tablespoons. You want to go by weight, because if you don't, you risk having a little bit too much or a little bit not enough or whatever, and it just won't be consistent. It might not be in small amounts like this. It may not be dangerous, but if you're making 20 pounds of soap at a time or something, then being off slightly one way or another could be a problem, because it just depends on the scale. Like if you're off by a little compared to the amount of oil you have, or if you're off by a lot compared to the amount of oil you have, it can be a problem. And so that's why measuring is almost always more accurate and is a better idea overall, in my opinion. But if the amount is small enough, like this is a 1 pound loaf of soap, if I'm measuring by teaspoons or cups or whatever, then even if I'm off by a little bit, because there's so little oil, um, it could be a bigger problem than if I was off by a teaspoon of lye in, like, say, 20-pound batch of soap or something. So, yeah, there's a big lump of oil right there, but it's fine. It'll be softened up. I'm just seeing what you guys are saying here. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Yep, we are just waiting for this lye to finish dissolving. Should be a few seconds. Oh, and I forgot to show you everything else. I'm so sorry. I am a little bit discombobulated today. I'm going to be using the 'Tis the Season fragrance. It smells so good. It's like the Victorian Christmas, and the fact that it's got like those nostalgic notes and like the spices and everything. But this also has like the apple cider notes. to it that are so good. It's nostalgic in a different way. Whereas a Victorian Christmas is like Christmas dinner, you're sitting down with family, and it's like um, a very like an indoors type thing. This is more of sleigh rides or hay rides or whatever. And like sitting outside and drinking hot apple cider and the snow's coming down. That's more what this one smells like. So this is more like the same thing, but out what's going on outdoors. The Victorian Christmas is like the indoors version of this. That's how I like to think about it. It smells really good. If this one does well, I might continue to buy it. We'll see. This is the first time I've tried it, so it's going to be an experiment. I'm going to mix in a little bit of red and a little bit of green. And the red is Trial by Fire by Nurture Soap, and the green is High Society by Nurture Soap. This green is really pretty. It has gold notes to it. Like there's actual, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it like it's like a almost iridescent, but the iridescence is gold, which is kind of neat. I thought that'd be very Christmassy. It's a very good Christmas green also. And then I got this gold. We might put it on top. I haven't decided. And then of course the culprit, the problems from last time, the white mixed with is titanium dioxide mixed with olive oil. You can get that at Nurture Soap also. Anyways, so we're going to be doing like a little swirl thing. And if you want, I do have an affiliate link down below if you want to get any of the stuff from Nurture Soap, the colors that I mentioned. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just helps me out if you use that link. So you can get those items there. And then, but the fragrance I got from Wellington. Okay, so this looks fine. This is cleared up, so this is fine. All right. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this. It's going to have to go really fast from here because, of course, since the heat from the lye is probably going to move this along pretty quick. So go ahead and pour this in, and I'm probably going to wait and add the fragrance just to the white part. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to mix this. See how the oils changed immediately? They started melting, and it's cleaning it off the stick blender. It's just really good when you don't feel like melting your oils beforehand. I'm just going to blend this real quick. Just a little bit to make sure we got all the pieces of oil. We may not have, but it looks fine. And it's nice and warm on the side. Most of these oils, like the coconut oil, melts just above room temperature anyway, so it should be fine. Okay, we're going to put a little bit in here. We're going to do the red and the green just a tiny bit. I want there to be, I want it to be like a pretty design, but I don't want it to kind of take over the design, which I typically end up doing by accident somehow. And this is not fully mixed, so it will definitely need a little more time. Okay, so let's mix the green in this little one here. There we go. A little more. Okay. This green is really pretty if you use like clear soap, like clear melt and pour, because the gold reflect comes out really good in that. It does come out in the cold process soap, but it's not nearly as dramatic. It's way more subtle, but which I think that's kind of good for, a soap when you just want something pretty and subtle, but you don't want, glitter. Not everybody likes glitter. Okay, open this some red here. This red is the best. I use it for almost every soap. If I need red, I use it. And then I just alter how it looks by adding other. So if I need it lighter, like if I want to add white, I can add titanium dioxide. If I want it darkened, I add a little bit of black or whatever. And you can mix other colors with it. But the reason I use it is because it doesn't bleed. Unless you put too much in. If it's bleeding, it's because you put too much in. But other reds tend to bleed. And so what happens is you've got this really pretty, soap design, and the red is slowly seeping out and staining the other colors and making you sad. So this one doesn't do that. And it stays a really nice, true red in the soaps. It's my favorite. And because of this though, I haven't really tested any other reds in like over a year. So maybe I should start testing them. Maybe other places have come up with a really good red. Okay, so that looks pretty well mixed. Let's mix in this red. Hopefully that's not too much, but we'll see. I will say the red, you do not need very much of it. Really, any of these micas, you don't need a whole lot, but this red is very effective. And I'm just scraping down the sides a little bit to get the little pieces that tend to stick. And I don't want to stick blend this because I'll have to clean my stick blender. And I'm not feeling that right now. Okay. I'm just going to mix this bit down here first and then incorporate what's on the sides. It's a really, really nice red. This red is actually a mix of mica and dyes. I don't know how they do it, but whatever they do, it works. So I'm not gonna question it. There. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, so we will leave that. And then this green. This is staying nice and fluid. Okay, that's fine. All right. So now the problem child. Let's add the white. This is titanium dioxide mixed with olive oil, and I just splattered it everywhere. Anyway, what this does is I mix it like that first so that it disperses really well in the soap. And that way I don't end up with a bunch of, or at least I have less little pockets of undissolved white, because the white tends to be the one that's hard to dissolve and mix in. Okay. That looks good enough. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Hi, Wanda. Welcome. Let me see what you guys are saying. Just reading here. Oh, yeah, Wanda, add your channel. It's Wanda's Blessed Creations. You should put it in the chat so people can find you. All right. This looks good. I'm just going to stick blend it because the white always looks better stick blended even when it's dispersed in oil. At least that's been my experience. Okay. I'm just making sure it's holding together. I don't want to like pour this into the mold and have it all separate because I didn't mix it long enough or something. All right, so here's our mold. I want to put most of this in here, and if I think if it's not accelerating, I can add it. Oh, this smells so good. If I can add it to the colors, but I don't think I need to. There's so little. Yeah, so far, so good. Since this is a fragrance I have not worked with before, a lot of things can happen here. Either this could accelerate or could even decelerate it. It could also turn brown over time. There's a lot of different things that can happen. But so far, it's behaving extremely well. No acceleration, nothing. Okay. I'm shocked. Let me smell this. Yeah, that smells really, really good. This is like very apple cider forward. This is very good. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. Doesn't look like it. Hey, 007. She's back. Okay, let's put this in here. Okay, we'll put the colors in, and we're going to do a swirl, an inside like swirl thing. I'm just going to put a line of green here, a line of the red. I don't think I'm in camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, a line of the red. Another line of, just tip that on its side, might as well. Another line of green. Oh yeah, I made way more than enough of these colors. Okay. It never looks like anything when I put it in the container. Then I go to use it. I'm like, whoa. Okay. And then some more white. Okay, the white is starting to move. Okay, yep, it's accelerating now. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, this fragrance, it doesn't accelerate unless you let it sit for a second. And then it absolutely accelerates. All right, I better do this quick, guys. We're going to end up with another one of those messy looking ones if I'm not careful. Okay. All right, swirled. And, well, at least it looks Christmassy, right? That is one Christmassy mess. All right. I'm pretty sure there's. I always think there's air bubbles, and it's never as bad as I think, but I'm worried about this one. Okay, let's put it here. Try not to hurt your ears. Okay, that looks fine. Got my individual molds back. We'll go ahead and put it in our favorite hot pink side here. And I'm going to have to, I want to read what you guys are saying, but I know this is moving fast and I got to move fast. So let me just scrape off this excess soap batter here into, why am I using my fork when I've got my spatula right here? I even have my tiny one available. Okay, there we go. That's much better. It's almost like the tool was made to do this or something. Okay, let's get this side. There we go. All right, now I'm going to try to get the rest of this in these molds because I know I don't have long before this white just is completely solid, if it isn't already at that point. Okay, so for people who want to use this, it doesn't accelerate immediately, but when it does, it does. It's kind of like, you know, how sometimes hot sauce, you get like the kind of hot sauce where it's like, it's hot, and then you get other kind of hot sauces where it takes a while to build. I think this is one of those where it takes a while to build. Okay, I got the white in there. Okay, so this did stay at least fluid enough for me to scrape it out into individual molds. This is not horrible. This is not as bad as like a floral. A floral would already be solid by now. So, yeah, that's pretty clean. Move this out of the way. Tap this out. Okay, I'll do the colors next, but I want to get a design on this before I do that. I think we're gonna definitely put what am I saying? Some gold on top of this. But first, let me just put something on here. I want this to pick up the textures. I want the gold to be able to pick up some texture. So we'll do a little bit both ways. It makes like a really neat looking, like kind of a rough top on there. Okay. Tap this out. Okay. I'm just going to scrape a little more off. Okay. Then the gold. We are going to put lots of gold on top of this one. And I'm hoping... Oh, I don't need this. The face shield is making it difficult. I have to like lean in to look at what I'm doing, and I realized, oh, I can just take this off now. Get too focused on what I'm doing. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I like how the gold picks up the texture, because like the color underneath, like it's gonna look pretty inside the soap, but it was too firm for me to do like a pretty design on top. Like I could have done a lot of things, but anyways, that's what the fun is. The fun with the heat transfer method and trying a fragrance you've never used before. You never know when something exciting is going to, like some sort of surprise. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. I thought I was doing that off camera by accident. I was about to be real mad at myself. Looks pretty cool. I guess you could think of this as like the wrapping paper. You don't know what's underneath. Okay, we'll set that aside for now. And then I will get these colors in here. There's this. Put that in here. All right. Let's get that little spatula. Actually, I'm going to use I have the big spatula. Ta-ta! I will get this in frame. I'm going to try to scrape this out here. Oh, that's much better. The small one's really good for like little details like I was showing you, but sometimes I just want a big one. Yeah, see how nice and fluid this still is? Yeah, that fragrance definitely did something. You know, actually though, I shouldn't just blame the fragrance only. I did put titanium dioxide in there, and that will also speed things along. So there is that. And also I think because that titanium dioxide is mixed with olive oil, I think it would help if I mixed it in sooner. Um, if you remember when I showed you the first one, um, that first Victorian Christmas that we made, how it was kind of separating. I wonder if maybe part of the reason is because I mixed in the white later, and it just didn't, like, by then the oils had already kind of started to saponify, and they just that might not have helped the problem, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here's this. In this on these on these bars, the top becomes the bottom. So I kind of don't care if there isn't a super pretty design. Um, if I do a pretty design, then of course I don't turn them upside down. But on this one, I could easily just, turn it the other way. Okay. Here's this. Here's this. All right, we got almost a full bar, so that's pretty good. And then we'll put some texture. Actually, let's see if I can get some of that white. I can. May as well not waste it, right? Okay. All right, let me just get this out. Sorry, guys, I'm going to look at chat in just a second. I just want to get what I can out of this before it solidifies completely. And then I'll be able to answer you guys. There we go. Yep, there was a significant amount in there. That's good. Get all that out. And then we'll take that fork and do something so it doesn't just look like a blob on the bottom. Okay. Could even just push it down, but there we go. That's better. Okay. Now it has kind of like a swirl effect instead of it just being flat. Perfect, perfect. Okay, and then here's the one that we just did. See, it's not seeping oil. That's good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. What is the spray thing I'm using? Okay, so this is from, I got this from Nurture Soap, and I have a link below. It's got, it's my affiliate link. I have to disclose that. It helps me out, but it doesn't cost you guys anything extra to use it. It's just a thing to help me. And what it is, you unscrew it, you put whatever color mica or glitter. Some of them you can do glitter, and then you put it back together. And then this, you can aim it and then spray it on like this. Sometimes I have to shake it to get the glitter up inside the pump, and then it works. They have more than one design, or they have had more than one design over time. Um, I don't know what design they have now. Every time I order them, the design is a little bit different, but I've only ordered them, I think, 2 or 3 times, and they were like ordered like a couple years apart. So I think what's happening is they're slowly getting better and better products, and then they're just, when the old ones sell out, they replace with the new. And I've been really happy with all the ones they sent me. They've all worked. I haven't had any problems with any of them. They just all work a little bit different, but you just put the mica in and you spray them. This is really good for, let me show you. In fact, we'll probably use it. In fact, I could use it with this one, but you could take, let's say you got this mold here, right? And you're going to make, like, let's say resin or soap or whatever you want to do. You spray it in the mold like this. See how the inside of the mold is getting coated? Like that. And then you pour the soap in, or resin or whatever. And then you got this nice coating, and you didn't have to waste, you can brush it on, like you can brush on micas and stuff too, but I wonder if that wastes any. And you can also like pour the mica in, like turn it around like you're dusting the inside of a cake pan, and then tap it out. But I feel like this gives a much lighter coat, and you can, more easily target areas without, tipping it and stuff. And then I almost tipped this over and forgot the soap bar was in there. But anyway, so maybe when we do the next soap, if I haven't cleaned out this gold, we can pour it in and see how it looks. But I've done this before, with other, other molds and other soaps and whatever. You just put on as much or as little as you want. So if you're just looking for like a little bit of dusting, like let's say, you want a little bit of glittery effect, but you don't want to coat the whole inside, this is good for that because it puts such a thin film, um, that you can build it up to however much you want there to be on there. So it starts out thinner and you just keep adding, keep adding. That's what I've used it for that. And let's see here. Let me scroll up and see what you guys are saying again. Oh wow, 30-year anniversary at your job. Congratulations. That's awesome. How am I feeling? I'm feeling a lot better. I still get a little bit of that, you know, how the cough will kind of linger, and when I talk for a long time or weather changes or something, it kind of comes back, but it's way less than it was before. It's I'm feeling a lot better. I've been really tired though, but I think that's just because I've been just doing a lot of extra stuff. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay, ask about the spray thing. It's called I think they call it their glitter spray pump, I think is what they call it. Um it's been a while since I've had to order one. They last like forever. Now I don't use it every single day. I don't use it on all my soaps, but all the ones I have that I've purchased, I still have them. The only reason I bought more was so that I could have them preloaded with color. So this always has gold in it. And then I have another one that always has silver, another one that always has hollow glitter. So that way I can just grab it. I don't have to prepare it and clean it out in between uses and blah blah blah. They were only a few dollars, so I just bought for the ones that I use the most often. I just bought the pumps and then just left the glitter or the mica in them, and then, because I know I'm going to use it, so it saves me a ton of time. Um, let's see. Am I doing a clearance sale anytime soon? I do have my soaps already in the shop, the ones that are on clearance. There is a clearance section. When these soaps, if you're on my mailing list, my email list, I will send out a note before I do the next sale. It'll be pretty soon. It's going to be probably, if I can get everything finished here, hopefully in the next week. But if you just look for the email, because I'll send you guys like a special code for the sale. And then if you haven't signed up for my email list, this is for everybody, for like people who watch in the future, whatever. If you're not already on my email list, there's a link down below. I think it says something like, join the email list for 10% off or something. That's the same email list. So if you join that, you get a 10% off code. You don't have to use it. But it just puts you on the list. And then that way, if I do any like secret stuff, if I need to do like a flash sale, or if I'm going to do something like add a new section to the shop or something, or it's just plans, whatever. If there's something interesting I want to share with you guys, I can email you there. So that's what that is. I don't do a whole lot of emails because I don't want to bog you guys down with like emails from me every single day, but I don't want to flood your inbox. But just whenever there's something important to share, I do that. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Stacy just answered that. I should have read that. Let's see here. Yeah, it is a really nice fine mist. The spray pump gel. It's really really nice. Okay. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I know that because of supply issues and stuff, they were sold out for a while. I don't know if they still are. I know they were sold out of like that glow in the dark mica for a long time, but they got it back, so I bought some. So hopefully it's the same case with the spray pumps, because they have a few things there that I really really like. The soap cutter is one. I got my soap cutter there. My multi cutter I got from them. My single cutter I got somewhere else, and I've got my spray pumps from them. I've gotten a couple molds from them. They do have, I mean, everything they have is really good. I haven't had any issues. Their fragrances are nice. I like that they have soaping notes on them because they'll tell you if it'll accelerate or if it's got vanilla, if it's going to turn your soap brown, things like that. It warns you ahead of time. So that's good. And their prices are pretty reasonable. And they also they have this thing where it's like a, how do you call it? Like a promotion, I guess. If you buy something from them and then you leave reviews for the things that you bought, they give you a discount on your next order. And I forget how much it is, like what the percentage is or whatever, but they give you a little bit of a discount. So for every, if you buy, like, let's say you make an order and you buy 10 things, like some micas, maybe, and some spray pumps or something, and maybe a mold or whatever. If you leave a review on each one of those items, then you get like a discount. Like it's the more reviews you leave, the bigger your discount is, like that. And it goes up to a certain amount. I think there's like a cap on how much you can get off each month. But yeah, so you can get a little bit of a discount to kind of, it's kind of nice if you're going to be ordering a lot of the same thing, to get like a couple dollars off your next order or something. So they do have a couple nice little perks when you order from them. But mostly, really, I almost always forget about that. There's like a ton of stuff I should have been leaving reviews on. I keep forgetting, but I order their stuff because it works. Like if I find something and it works, I don't want to keep changing it, and that's kind of how I feel about this. Their fragrances are good. The pumps are good. The micas are good. I get the. I showed you the micas I get, but like they're red. In fact, the reason I started ordering from them is because I wanted a purple that didn't turn gray. Because long time ago, if you bought purple micas, they almost always turned gray in cold process soap. It was such a pain. Or they would turn pink or blue, and it was so irritating. So and I also wanted a red that wouldn't run. So if I made like a red and white soap, it wouldn't all turn pink over time. And they were the only ones that had a red that didn't run and a purple that didn't turn gray. And so that's how that started. So I bought those from them. They also offer some biodegradable glitters. And so it just seems like every time I need to get something for my soap, it's like, oh, they have something useful, and um, it's pretty good quality. So that's what I get from them. I get a lot of fragrances from them. I also get fragrances from other places like Wellington. There's a couple other places that I've purchased fragrances from, that I still need to test. And I don't know. There's a lot of good companies out there. There really are. So it's just a matter of, what is it that you're looking for? What do you need for your soap? And who is selling the best version of that? So I don't exclusively order from Nurture Soap. I will order from other companies. It just depends on what I'm looking for. But they are a good one for the stuff that I get from them. Yeah, Stacy. Without having to do the review, you get a discount code. That's right. That's right. Because if you're on the email list, I always send out new discount codes for you guys. So because I really do appreciate when you guys order, because it really, I mean, obviously that helps me out. Plus, what would I do with all the soap? I mean, I can't use it all myself. And the review, and actually leaving me a review too, that does help me out, because then Etsy is willing to show my soaps to other people. So for me to get more, have my soaps be seen more. Um, and they also have these weird, there's a lot of weird programs. If you don't sell on Etsy, you probably don't know about it, but there's like things like star seller programs and stuff like that they came out with. It's just like really weird. It's really weird how you become, like, you get put on that special seller list or whatever. One of the ways is through reviews. So even if you sell like 1,000 things but nobody leaves a review, but everybody's happy, it doesn't matter, you still can't get on the program. So it's like all these weird, I don't know. There's been a lot of controversy over it, because people will have like a really really good shop with really really good products and really happy customers, but then because of like some weird thing, they don't get put on a star seller list. And even though they're doing really well, and it confuses people. And yeah, mostly it's the sellers who are concerned about it. I don't think customers really care, but the sellers really get upset about it. For some of them do, because they think that it's going to impact their shop more than it really does. Anyways, hi Barb, welcome. We're just about finished here. We were just talking about discount codes and where to get mica pumps and stuff like that. So Oh, and these have caps too. I don't this one might not, but some of the mica pumps, Wanda, in case you do decide to get one, some of the mica pumps they have caps on them now. So if that's important to you. So this is the for those who came in late, this is the soap that we made today. It's got gold mica dusted on top. It's got a red and green design and a white base, and it smells like Christmas. It's got like apple cider notes and spices. It just smells really, really good. I keep smelling it. Oh, it smells so good. It's very happy smelling, very nostalgic. And this is the leftover soap batter that we just poured in here. And I was just demonstrating how the glitter pumps work. I have a tiny bit of this left, like a few drops down at the bottom. I might try making a I'm undecided. I was thinking I could make maybe some salt sizzlers out of it to see how it works for like a room freshener, or maybe make like a roll-on perfume with it. I tried the roll-on perfume with that sweater weather, and that worked out really well. So I might get another bottle of that, but I don't know yet. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this rose came out, Jill. I'm hoping it'll come out good. Mostly, I'm just hoping it stays together. After that one oily disaster, I just hope that the soap like behaves itself at this point. But that's okay. We ended up with so far we've got I think we've made well, including this one. I think we got the 4 holiday soaps now. I made the sweater weather, which is the blue and white one, the Victorian Christmas, which is the gold on it. We have the green and white one, and now this one. Was it green and white? Did we do the balsam cedar? Is that what we did? Yeah, that was the balsam cedar. So if you guys, oh yeah, and if you guys have any suggestions, anything you want to see me make, any fragrances or fragrance types like florals or whatever, or specific fragrances you want to see made, let me know down below somewhere in the comments. And colors, if you want to see like colors or designs or a certain soap style, I'd be happy to try it out even if I fail. Fall leaves, we could do that. I do have a leaf stamp that has all the parts to it, so the snowflakes let me down. Either that or I let myself down by losing half of them. But I don't think so because it's all in one little container. But I'll double check. I'll see if maybe something happened to it. But yeah, the leaves, fall leaves would be fun. I do have I used to anyway have like a fall leaf fragrance. Oh, you know what we could do? I still have this one to make. This one, and this would be good for it too. This is called Urban Winter. Maybe we'll do that one on Monday. Oh, it smells really, really good. It smells so good. I don't even know how to describe it. I'll have to look up the notes so I can give you the notes other than me just saying, oh, it smells really, really good. But that one would be good. This one has a tiny bit of vanillin in it, so it'll probably turn the soap like a light tan color, which would be perfect for fall leaves. And then I'm going to see if I have any of that soap dough, any of the brown soap dough. If not, what we could do is use that soap dough that we already made, the white, and we could dust it with like gold or something. That would be pretty. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's do that. I'm gonna put it on the thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget because got a crazy weekend ahead of me. I think fall leaves soap. Oops. Spent winter. There we go. All right. So okay, I got that down on Monday. All right. Just checking everything else. Okay, I think so. We'll do that Monday. Just making sure there's nothing else on here. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll do that, and hopefully that'll turn out nice. I got a few ideas now. See, got some ideas in my head. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think I'm thinking of all the leaf stamps and leaf cutouts I have now. I'll do that later though. I'm not gonna have you can't see what I'm thinking, so it's not gonna help you guys for me to sit here and ponder about it. Um, but I will see you guys all on Monday. Um, Oh, pumpkin would be good. I think I should check and see if I have a pumpkin cut out. Or make little pumpkins. Well, I have those 3D pumpkins I made though, like the hand sculpted ones. But we'll see. I probably should. Anyways, yeah, kind of Thanksgiving. That would be cute. Yeah, I think maybe I'll put. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything because I know if I do, and then yeah. Anyways, but yeah. But yes, we will do something. I do like your leaf idea. I think I'll do that because I do have those stamps I've been wanting to use. Um, there's a couple of things I tend to gravitate to, and usually it's like, oh yeah, leaves. I use them for the tops of soaps and stuff. But this will be fun because I have a not a 3D stamp, but it's like a stamp. You stamp it, and then it puts like the impression, like the leaf veining on top of it. It's like a fondant stamp thing. Anyways, you'll see. It'll be really cool. That's what's going on in my head, thinking about all the fun ways I could use that. Like, do I put them on the top, or should we add them after the soap is made, or blah blah blah. And I should I should go before I hold you guys here all night, doing these musings. So um yes. Anyways, I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great night, and see you guys soon.